What's up, guys? How y'all doing today? Well, baby, if you are Sean Diddy Combs, baby, you just got bold. You really thought you got over, and you got called out in federal court, and the judge is not happy. Y'all, what am I talking about? If you guys don't know, I did an amazing live where if I do say so for myself, where I went over a lot of this, but let me just give you guys a quick 5-minute refresher, okay? Diddy's team begged for a gag order. Not only is it the attorneys, the feds, not only is it all the witnesses, but it's all the lawyers of the witnesses. If you guys don't know, the people that are testifying against Diddy and for Diddy all have attorneys. They have done a complete media blackout. You're not allowed to talk about what you saw, what you heard. You're not allowed to say things out in public because it might mess up and tamper the jury. And Diddy could potentially use that for a mistrial, a new trial, or all this other stuff, okay? So the feds don't want that. Oddly enough, Diddy actually does want that. But on top of that, Diddy and his hypocrisy are front and center. And the feds said, you better stop playing with us. Again, Diddy is trying to do that cute-ish he did last time, where he demanded there be a gag order, and then he, via his social media, his kids' TikToks and Instagram, was running a social media campaign trying to make sure that they were the only ones that got a message out to the jury. Now, I know what you're saying. Diddy already got caught doing that. Would he be dumb enough to do it again? Baby, did he do it? Yes, he did. Diddy is dumb enough to do it again. Only this time in the middle of court, it got called out. So what was the scene, okay? Diddy has 8 lawyers, but only 7 of them have made an appearance in court. What does that mean? When the judge come in and they say, all rise, right? They'll be like, hello, Your Honor, Tisa Tells making an appearance for Sean Diddy Combs, blah, 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 blah. The judge says, okay, and that's the way you make a appearance in court, which means the court officially sees you as their attorney, meaning any gag orders or any orders that the judge may give the defense or give the prosecution, you must abide by. Simple enough, right? This is where Diddy thought he got over. So what did Diddy do? Diddy actually has 8 lawyers. One of them is Mark Garagos. Now, Mark Garagos' daughter, I believe it's Tinny Garagos, is currently on Diddy's team. Diddy has finally gotten that unicorn of a lawyer. Diddy was begging, offering north of $2 million, $3 million for a black female attorney. Diddy finally got one to represent him. It's one of the girls that was co-counsel to the Brian whatever in the Young Thug case. You remember Brian Young Thug's lawyer that got him off? She was co-counsel. She's very thorough. She knows what she's doing. She apparently decides she wants to represent monsters, but whatever, right? Defense attorneys are going to defend. So back to the subject, okay? So he has the black woman lawyer. Diddy at this point has 8 lawyers. However, at the lawyer's desk, right, which is divided by that little gate, there's only 7. The 8th lawyer, Mark Garagos, who has done a lot of work for Diddy in the past, so he's not a new lawyer, is sitting behind that counsel, just in the stands, okay? In open court, whenever they get new information or what's going on, in open court, Mark Garagos is getting up, walking toward the 7 lawyers in the lawyer seats, because the gate blocks it. I'm going to call it the pulpit, but it doesn't matter, right? Walking up to them, and he's giving them advice. They're like, come here. They're conferring with them. They're talking about everything. The prosecution finally said, Your Honor, no, enough of this. You can't do this. Diddy was like, oh, what? Why not? And the prosecution called them out on their mess. What is their mess? You guys, by making sure that Mark Garagos, okay, has not officially made an appearance. He is a consultant, but he's been giving access to Diddy's whole file like he is a main lawyer. You're getting all the benefits of being lead counsel, but you're not getting any of the detractions, which is being under the judge's gag order. What does that mean? Well, I'll tell you, it's real world consequences. That gag order got passed Friday. Sunday, Mark Garagos on his podcast with Harvey Levine, the owner, founder, and current head of TMZ. They have a podcast called 2 Angry Men. It's supposed to be a play for that legal drama 12 Angry Men about the jurors and court cases. Instead, they call it 2 Angry Men because they're men, they're angry. Okay, yeah, right? The point of the matter is, remember when I said that TMZ has very Diddy slanted coverage? Maybe that's why it is. It's all about connections, not justice. Harvey actually runs on if people get acquitted. But forget about that. he was on their podcast, and he talked about the Cassie video. He talked about the way, I actually think this is just nothing but propaganda. I think this, I think that, and kicking the prosecution's back in. The prosecution heard that and they said enough. You are making statements because you have access to everything we have. So you think because you are a celebrity lawyer, when you talk, people listen, and you are besties with one of the biggest people in mainstream media, Harvey from TMZ, the owner, operator, runner, and the one that runs everything, they are saying, yeah, no, you cannot do this. We see what you're going to do. You're trying to get around the gag order. You think you have effectively silenced the witness, their attorneys, even the prosecutors, while you're going to have Mark Garagos, who is your legal counsel, right? And let's not forget that's important because right now there's a lot of stuff that is only for counsel, okay? And Mark Garagos is a consultant. A lot of the evidence that the prosecution passes along, Mark Garagos shouldn't have access to that. However, by saying he has counsel, he has access to it, but he's not bound under what the court says about gag orders. So you have all this special stuff. That means that you can start leaking to TMZ. You can start doing what you can to jury taint. And you're a celebrity lawyer, so when you talk, people listen. Yeah, they stood up and said, it's not happening today. Diddy's team is now in a tailspin because they thought that they had figured out a way to get it. And let's also not forget that the feds basically sent a warning to Mark Garagos about sharing classified information, or at least information under a gag order, with TMZ. Okay? That was their plan before. Anyway, listen to how they called them out in court. This is actually really good. Here's what they said. They said, Your Honor, during the course of the jury selection, despite the presence of 7 defense attorneys who have filed notices of appearance in this case and a jury consultant, the defense team appeared to consult with Mark Garagos and other members of the Garagos and Garagos law firm who were present in the court. Mr. Garagos and his firm have a long-standing relationship with the defendant, that's Diddy, but neither Mr. Garagos nor any member of his firm has filed a notice of appearance in this case. They go on to say that the letter notes, they wrote a letter to the judge also, that this sort of media chatter coming from someone so close to the defense team and Diddy could completely botch the trial. It also notes that Diddy admonished the prosecution in late April after members commented on pretrial litigation and continued to broadcast prejudicial statements. That's when they said there was a Fed that made a statement to TMZ talking about, he is gone. Diddy done. He ain't coming back. I wonder if that person still has his job. I'm just saying. They said during the jury trial of any criminal matter, during the period of selection of the jury, no lawyer or law firm associated with the defense shall give or authorize any extrajudicial statement or interview relating to the trial or the parties or issues in the trial, which a reasonable person would expect to be disseminated by means of public communication, if there is a substantial likelihood that such dissemination will interfere with the fair trial. It's basically saying you have to shut up. If anything you do messes up this trial, you're going to be in big trouble, so just don't say anything about the trial, all right? Anyway, after they said that, Diddy all of a sudden said, I'm sorry, Your Honor, I'm a little nervous today, as he requested a quick bathroom break that the judge gave him. Anyway, y'all, listen. The judge is yet to rule on it. It is expected that they will expand the gag order. Nice try, Diddy, but you're going to have to try something else to get some good press out. Maybe, you know what the best press could have been? You actually being a good person. That would have been the best press. But you know what? Who am I to talk? Who am I to talk? Anyway, I'm me. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the meantime. We are covering the trial. We are giving you up-to-the-minute evidence and information on what is going on in that jury. And baby, we have waited all year for this. Welcome to the legal Super Bowl. We are literally going to see the Diddy being taken down day by day by day. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the let me know what you think. I'll call you back. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.